Here's an interview from one of our past shows on Rock and Metal Revival. If you're interested in hearing full shows, go to our Facebook page and check out our list of affiliates for times and places where you can hear Rock and Metal Revival. There is High Risk Trigger from I Hate God off their latest A History of Nomadic Behavior. And with us today is I Hate God lead vocalist Mike-IX. Welcome to the Revival, Mike.
It's good to be here. Thank you.
It is awesome to have you here. I mean, now the title of the new release is A History of Nomadic Behavior, and with that title, it almost seems autobiographical for a band like I Hate God. You guys are always on tour up until this pandemic.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it kind of is. Even though when I wrote that title, I didn't really think of it, but it kind of fits with everything we've done, especially the last 3 years where we kind of went on tour in 2017 and didn't stop until we had to, which was the beginning of last year. So, yeah, I guess you could say that, autobiographical, but it fits, you know?
You know, one thing I've noticed about this release, Mike, is this is the clearest that I've ever heard your vocals. I could be wrong, but was that a conscious decision, or am I way off base here with that?
No, you're right, man. On the self-titled album, I started, going that direction, and yeah, I mean, it's just something that happened. I'm just not as drunk as I used to be, basically.
Well, I know the other thing I've heard from this release is I hear a more pronounced bluesier sound on this release. Am I getting that right, or am I just off base with that too?
No, that's right. I mean, I don't know if that was done on purpose. You'd have to ask Jimmy Bauer from, or the guys who wrote the songs. But, yeah, I mean, blues is something that we're very much into and we listen to in the van when on tour. And, we've been into it. Growing up in New Orleans, you hear it, on the street,
Mm-hmm.
So it's like something that kind of seeped into our brain cells, I guess.
Well, now the last 2 times, and I caught you, we were talking about this off air. I caught you guys with BLS in Chicago and then in Milwaukee at the Cactus Club. And both times I left the show, I thought to myself, this is a band you have to see live to actually get the feel and get what's going on. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, I totally agree with that. I always say in interviews that we're a live band. I mean, as you see with our discography, we go years between albums because it's just we're more of a live band. We'd rather be on tour than in the studio, I think. The studio is cool and all, but live is just where we think we're at our best and where it's the most fun, So yeah. Well, you're correct.
Mike, the 2 times I saw you, I saw you at the Cactus Club in Milwaukee, and then I saw you kind of in a bigger show with BLS. I thought you guys really, really kicked it in that smaller venue. Nobody wants to play small venues for their life, but guys seem to be at home there. Yeah,
I don't mind smaller venues. I think, I like a small venue when it's just packed full of people and everybody's drunk and sweaty and jumping off the stage and all that. We feed off that energy, like the BLS shows were great, for different reasons, but, we had a shortened set on that tour and just, we had to come out and just kind of give it all for like 30 minutes or whatever it was. And that was great and all, but those small clubs really just bring out like all the energy we have,
Well, reading through your bio and all that, now I was really amazed that I didn't know that you guys have been a band for 33 years, which is amazing. I mean, most marriages in this country don't even last that long. So what do you think played the role of the band staying together that long? Because I don't think you guys have ever broken up, right?
No, we've never broken up. I mean, we've taken we took a hiatus in 2000 that was just kind of needed, but that was maybe about 6 months, 6 or 8 months or something like that. But yeah, we've never split up. It's always been me and Jimmy Bauer. I don't know. We always said that when it's not fun anymore, that's the time to stop. But it's always fun. And me and him are like brothers. Like you said, it is like a marriage. It's like we fight sometimes, but we're brothers. We love each other, so it is one of those things. It's not easy being with the same person in a band for a long time. There's a lot of ups and downs and stuff like that, just like regular life, obviously. But it works somehow. We keep it. The tension, I think, sometimes that we have kind of holds it together and gives us that energy and that sound also.
You know, also the other thing I was going to ask you about, Mike, is I heard that you had an interesting situation getting out of Europe before everything shut down in the pandemic. Can you tell us about that a little bit?
Yeah, we were over there in February on tour with Napalm Death and a bunch of other bands. But, yeah, we ended that tour, and we were doing some makeup shows, and, like, we were supposed to do Russia, and we actually played Athens, Greece. Then we flew to Kiev in the Ukraine, which was something that had been booked for a while. We were just doing it as a headline show without Napalm, you know. So we got there, and then that was the night. That was like March 11th, and that night, at like 3 a.m. over there, we heard the news that there was going to be borders shutting down, and there was all this panic going on, and you know, we didn't know. We were getting our information from television like everyone else and the internet, you know, so we thought the best thing to do would be to just get out of there at 3 a.m, you know, so we left and headed to the airport, and they were already, like, at the airport, they were jacking up the prices of tickets because they knew people needed to get home immediately, and, like, we had to get routed through different countries and cities. I had to get routed through Istanbul, Turkey to get home. It was all crazy, but I think we made the right decision by not getting stuck there for 30 days.
Well, I think Chuck Billy was over there at that time, and he actually came back and he had COVID.
Yeah, well, the funny thing about that is that tour, the Testament Death Angel tour, was going on at the same time as the Napalm tour. We were kind of going across Europe, both tours, you know, kind of crossing paths in some spots. But, yeah, like a bunch of those guys apparently got COVID, you know, like I think the drummer for Death Angel maybe, or someone, a bunch of their crew and stuff got it. So we were really lucky, you know, we kept in touch after that tour, Napalm and the crew and everybody, and no one even had symptoms or anything. So I guess we're very lucky.
That's outstanding. That really is. And, you know, I feel on the other, or going back to the title of the new album, A History of Nomadic Behavior, it kind of strikes me as funny as the fact that the pandemic hit and you guys couldn't go anywhere. I mean, and with live music starting to come back, Mike, what are you guys' plans for I Hate God in 2021?
We're just, you know, talking to booking agents and promoters and trying to see when we can go out or what we can do. You know, we're talking to a bunch of different bands and stuff as well and seeing what we can do. And, you know, probably maybe at the end of the year, it's possible we may be doing some American shows. We're still in the, you know, negotiating the whole thing right now, but I think a few bands are probably going to go out before that, so I guess we'll see what happens with that, you know?
Exactly. Now, Mike, where's the best place for our listeners here to keep up with what's going on with I Hate God?
I would say Instagram, probably. You know, we have an Instagram page, and then that leads you to our website. We also have a website. We have a Facebook page, all that stuff, you know. We usually post the current things happening, or if we have something new to sell.
Okay.
You know, which is actually very important, though, because a lot of bands, people should buy merch right now from all bands, because that's the only thing keeping us afloat right now, to be honest, is like having a merch store, you know. So I was kind of teasing about, shilling product, but it's needed right now. Yeah, those are the places they can go to see what's happening.
We always tell our listeners, if you want to support your band while they can't be out on tour, go and buy as much merch as you possibly can, and that your reward will be when they come back out on tour.
Yeah, for sure, man. Definitely, you know. We usually, talk to the fans and stuff, too, so we're not one of those bands that, like, hides or anything. So they'll get their money's worth if they come see us.
Outstanding. Well, Mike, I want to thank you for coming on Rock and Metal Revival today. We always let our guests pick the song out of the interview. So you got one off this latest release you'd like us to throw on?
The song Everything Every Day would be a good one. That's the last song on the record.
Is there anything
favorite, I think.
Is there anything special behind that song we should know about?
No, it's just about. I think it relates to. I think everybody can relate to it because it's about work and going to work and going to school, and everybody kind of can get involved in those lyrics, So yeah, that's about it,
Well, Mike, we'd like to thank you once again for coming on Rock and Metal Revival, and you're welcome back here anytime, my friend.
Thank you, man. It was good talking to you. I appreciate it.